before. So when you do save and start automating your savings and you don't even see it with your own eyes, what that does, it makes you feel comfortable and financially secure in a sense that in the event you get retrenched, you know you have some money. It's not like everything is shutting down, We need to be prudent in how we live our lives so that we can be successful financially. So financial success does mean that you have to have a commitment to your savings, because your savings are going to be your future millions.
Mama, I would now like for us to look at credit records or credit scores, as some might call it. What would you say is a credit record?
Okay. When you start working, in fact, I think even before, there's some I've seen some students who have been given some debt and provided credit cards and some clothing accounts while they were still at the university.
Yes.
And those who gave them that debt gave them under the disguise that, look, if you take this credit card or if you open this account, when you start working, you will have a good credit record. Okay? Lo and behold, the young person with this 20,000 Rand credit card, she goes haywire. She goes and spends all that money, and the next thing she can't pay. And guess what? The minute you can't pay, that goes on your credit record. So what is a credit record? The minute you come into the economy and be an active member and a contributor into the mainstream of economy in this world, you have privately owned businesses which are called credit bureaus. What credit bureaus are doing, they are keeping a database of each and every person who is either working and is actively involved in the credit world. When you open up a bank account, you get checked out on a credit bureau. So the bureau is just purely an information base where everybody's names are there and their ID numbers and who do you owe money to and how much and how do you pay. So whether you pay well or you pay badly, both those records are there. They are kept. You are being checked every single month whether you are paying on time according to the agreement or not, or you're skipping a day or you're skipping 2 days. All that information is kept on record, because every time you want to open an account, they have to go and check whether you are able to pay them back or not. And there are a few things that they actually look at, the credit. In fact, it's not even the job of the credit bureau to check on those things. Banks and all other retailers are using the database of the credit bureaus. They are actually paying money to have access to that information. So whether you have a food company that wants to sell you a credit card so that you can buy their food on credit, or it's clothing, or it's insurance, or banks or furniture shops, whether you want to buy a car, it doesn't matter what it is, your name will be listed on that credit bureau. So credit bureau is a good thing because it allows all the people who want to lend you money to know how you conduct yourself.
Yes. So what are the benefits of having a good credit record?
Okay. It's good in a sense that, number one, when you have a good credit record, let's say you have this account, but in fact, no, I think I would have failed if I didn't mention this. It's quite interesting to note that if you look at most of the retail accounts, 95% of those retail accounts are owned by black people. Only 5 or maybe 2% are owned by all the other races. So that gives you also another clue about how the system is actually almost geared to make people poor for the rest of their lives. Okay, and so for you to be able to have access to credit, when you do have a good credit record, let's say you had a clothing account, a 6 months clothing account, and you kept it for 1 year, and you have shown over time that you arranged, or even if you didn't arrange a debit order, because I don't like debit orders, you arrange payment every month via your EFT or something like that. You arrange on the 20th of the month, you're paying your account every month without fail, okay? And you've kept that record for a year. The advantage of that is that once you want to buy an asset now, which we call a house, maybe you want to get yourself a nice townhouse.
Yes.
When the banks go to the credit bureau and they look at how precise you are, always on time, consistently, and never stopping for a year, they will provide you with credit readily, so very quickly. But most importantly, banks fight over people like that. Why? Because they are good payers and they are consistent. And therefore, they will compete over you by giving you a cheaper loan with a reduced interest rate. And another thing is to have a good credit record can be a good career booster. Why? Because especially for people who are looking into working for the financial services, if you have a bad credit record, they will not hire you. By law, they are not allowed, but it is one of the most important things that they look at when they employ you, because everybody who is getting employed today has to check them on the credit bureau. It's a very good thing to have a good credit record, and those are the most various reasons. And your reputation is high, because suddenly you start getting other loan offers which you didn't ask for. And of course, that's where you can say, no, but no thank you,
So what are the actual repercussions of having a bad credit record?
Okay, that one, they will decline you if you have bad credit record. If you're asking for more credit, they'll simply decline you until you go and sort out that mess, that you made. And then also, when you take up insurance and or you want a loan, you will actually be more exposed to those people who will give you a loan, but they will load it and give you a very expensive loan. Why? Because they have to charge for the risk factor that they see in you based on the credit record that is reflected at the bureau. So even with your insurance, when you take up a car insurance or any other insurance, they have to check you up on the credit bureau. So what usually happens is that if you are a sporadic payer and are not reliable, they'll give you the insurance, but they load it with more premium so that they cover the expenses, and so that even if you don't pay sometimes, they can also decline your claims. So life becomes a little bit of a misery once you have a bad credit record. And also, it's very career limiting.
In that regard, Mama Winnie, what would you say is debt consolidation?
Okay, yeah, just something else. Just before we get away from this credit thing, it is also important that young people must go every year. You are entitled by law to get a free credit report to see what is happening with your credit life. It's almost like an HIV status check.
Yes.
Once a year, have your financial status check, and these reports are free. And people can go. I know of Experian because I've worked with Experian a lot. You just go online and you put your personal details there, and they will send you your report, and they will send you the interpretation of what it means. And if you don't understand, you just pick up the phone and ask them.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah, there's few credit bureaus that are available in South Africa. There's Experian, there's TransUnion, there's XDS, and CompuScan. So I've dealt with Experian most of the time, and I've done a project for them before, and I think they work very well. So every year, just find out who you like, or just Google, because you guys are Googleable everywhere. Just Google Experian or IT or TransUnion or XDS or CompuScan and just see if you can get your free credit report. And then and then we can come to this issue of debt management. And you asked me about what? Consolidation, right?
Yes, debt consolidation.
Right. Now, remember when I said to you, you need discipline to manage your money. But if you do, in a way, find yourself, maybe you've overdone things and you realize now that you are so scattered, your income is not enough and you keep on paying this and this and this one and this one, and there's just not enough money to go around. And somebody tempts you and say to you, come, I can give you 100,000 rand loan for you to kill all your debt and you can just pay me 5,000 rand a month for the next 5 years. And then you go and sit and you say, wow, what a good idea. I think that can eliminate all my problems. And that's a rational way of thinking, right? You say, you'll be convinced that you are 98% right, or maybe 99% or even 100% right. Yes. Guess what? You are 98% wrong. And maybe 2% you are right. And let me tell you the reason why. For the fact that you've managed to get yourself into so much debt, okay? The minute when that 100,000 rand comes through and you are now, it hits your bank account, guess what you're going to do? You are going to pay half or maybe quarter of the other debts and use the rest of the money for something else. And this is happening over and over and over again because money management is not necessarily the managing of the numbers. It is a managing of yourself, your discipline. It's about your discipline. It's about how committed you are about you being successful. People will take that consolidation loan and they will do all sorts of other things and forget that they still have the debt. And guess what? They end up with a consolidation loan to pay for the next 5 years, plus the other smaller debt. And that pulls them over. That's where people get depressed. Some of them are hospitalized. I mean, I met two guys who wanted to kill themselves. I simply asked, when do you want to kill yourself? Because I can help you to Google so that you can kill yourself successfully. You know, because this and that's when debt counseling or debt review is necessary, because a person like that, when you are ill-disciplined and you are not mindful in taking care of your finances and you think that a debt consolidation loan is going to be the answer, you actually need 150% more discipline so that you can continue to pay this debt quickly and finish it even quicker by not just paying 5,000 rand for 5 years and maybe pay 6,000 or 7,000 rand per month so you can finish it in 3 years or something like that. You need a double portion of discipline. And if you don't have the discipline of keeping the little money you have, thinking that you now will have the best ability and the best discipline to take care of 100,000, we are lying to ourselves. And that's why I don't necessarily support people taking a consolidation loan, not because it's a bad thing. It can help some people, but it is a risk that as a young person, once that money is there, if you're not disciplined enough to do what you said you will do, then you will not succeed. But it's the same thing that I'm doing. If I'm a young person, if I took too much debt, what gives me the guarantee that I will do a better job when I have 100,000 in my bank account?
From what I gather, Mama Winnie Kunene, you are not advising anyone who's in debt to go for a consolidation loan.
Not at all. And this is a solution. This is what I'm suggesting. When you find yourself, and when I find myself in a financial situation, I always recommend that people should redraw their budget. This is where I come in. This is the kind of service I offer corporates, right?
Yes.
So I take their staff members and say to them, okay, fine, you made a mess. You are paying 6,000 rand